So there is a team here, as you can see, the team of the staff of the commission that are checking all those particulars as has been outlined. The big black books you see on the tables there contain all the electoral laws, all the laws that govern elections in our country are contained in those huge books you see on the table of the commission. They are like the Bible or the Quran for elections in this country.
We have checked and verified the aspirants' papers as presented, and we find them in order. That he has fulfilled all the requirements as stipulated in the Presidential Elections Act. Therefore, I, Justice Byabakama Mugenyi Simon, being the returning officer for the nomination of presidential candidates, declare Museveni Yoweri Tuhaburwa Kaguta a duly nominated candidate in respect of the presidential elections 2026, he having fulfilled the nomination requirements under the Presidential Elections Act, Chapter 179. Okay. You can withhold those celebrations until later. Now we require the candidate or his appointed agent to come and sign this declaration. Which was supposed to be immediately after the nomination. Okay. All right. As a duly nominated candidate, Museveni Yoweri Tuhaburwa Kaguta, you will be required to A, appoint an official agent who will coordinate your campaign meetings and media program, and also attend meetings on your behalf where necessary. Secondly, you will avail the commission with a schedule of your campaign meetings and media program as soon as practicable to facilitate the smooth harmonization of all the candidates' campaign programs countrywide. And thirdly, we sign a memorandum of understanding with the Electoral Commission on compliance with the harmonized campaign program timelines and guidelines. The law requires that upon nomination, the Electoral Commission shall avail the National Voters Register in a soft copy to the candidate. I hereby hand over the National Voters Register in soft copy form to your agent. After the business here, there are other two functions. One, we shall hand over to you your security vehicle. Secondly, you also address the press or the media in a designated area where you'll be ready to, if you want. I think that is all for now. Thank you. Can we now go and hand over the security vehicle to the candidate? Congratulations upon your nomination.
Members of the press, please get to the places where the place for the interview. somebody is there to the protocol team, the commission, leading the candidate now to his security detail, his security vehicle.
Tuli Kalulu nagambidde nakusuubiza kuva jjo nti tutandise ebyobululu era tobyeta mwabeerako ogoberere buli kimu. Bali mu kusunsulamu era mu ssaawa gye bivudde katono omukulu asoose akuumya obudde n'alanama bulannami ssaawa baagamba nnya zennyini atuuseewo 3 n'abeerabeera awo ebbali kyemmanyi n'asobola okubeera ng'akuuma. Tujja kuba ne mukulu Kakande ono alabye emitendera gyonna egy'ebyobufuzi okusunsulamu kwalabye kuyitirivu okusingako obungi okusinga obungi ogenze kwa mukulu ono aliko kwosinza okulaba naye suubira nti okobote wakulaba
okobote okusooka kansooke namuse ku bannaffe batulaba ku Bukedde mwebale okuba nti mugoberera ebigenda mu ggwanga sebo okobote twali tuli mu constitution ya njawulo nga tetuba na presidential candidate nga tuli ku nkola y'Abangereza nti ekibiina ekisinza ababaka abangi mu parliament omukulembeze waakyo yabeera president n'olwekyo Obote teyeesimbawo wadde kubeera MP kubanga ate Bungereza jjukira nti bo oyo mukulembeze naye abeera mu parliament
mu kinaana yeesimbawo
Obote teyeesimbawo
mu kinaana era byali bya gundi
yaleka ababaka abantu be ne beesimbawo kwa parliament kati bwe balangirira nti bafunye ebitundu naye nafuna omukisa nalonda waliwo omwami emu ku social media yagambye nti mu Kampala wonna tewaaliwo mundu evuga we nalondera mu Ndeeba emundu yavuga abantu amasasi wawosobola nti baafa naye nga baalensito naye kituufu nti enkola ereeta omuntu okwesimbawo okuba president niyo etandise mu constitution eya 95 era kyova nti okulonda okwasookera ddala kwali mu 96 nga constitution eteekeddwa mu nkola constitution eno ewa omukisa mu kiseera ekyo twasooka okulonda tewaaliwo bibiina era nga ebibiina tebiteekawo omuntu era nga tebikola campaign abantu beesimbawo ku lwabwe kaakati
eyo waali wajjajje Kawanga Semwogerere Kibirige Mayanja ne Yoweri Kaguta Museveni Yoweri Museveni ndowooza mu kiseera ekyo yali nakozesa lya Kaguta
yali Yoweri Museveni wavaako ate n'ateekako erya Kaguta
Yoweri Museveni Kaguta
ate eryaddako n'ateekako Tibuhaburwa
yaddako yateekako n'ekikoofiira ntandiko teyaliko yajja mugundi yakusa baali ne Semoge teyalina nkoofiira naye ogwokubiri teyalina ogwokusatu ogwo wateekerako Yoweri Museveni Kaguta olwo enkuufiira ya Kaguta
a man with the heart naye ng'enkola eno tekikwetaagisa kuba ne kaakati tekikwetaagisa kuba na kibiina osooka esimbawo oba na munigina oba ekibiina nekikusimbawo kati nga mukulu Museveni ekibiina kye ekya NRM
nga tugende ku specifically ku mukolo oguliwo kaakati ndabye nti mulimu ebintu bebagize amusekendinga amuwandiikidde ebibundi bye ebigambo bye ateeka kuba wa Luganda. Mbadde manyi ab'ekibiina bannakibiina bali abagundiivu vice chairman waliwo chairman wa centre abona mbalabye be babadde bakadaaga baani bonna babaddewo mu seniority. Abakadaaga yeyawudde nnyo n'amongo naye abaddewo olaga royalty yemanyi
naye si yeyawudde
abaatesewo space kati lwaki abo tebazze kubanga emabegako bw'oba ozize ng'ogobera okulonda kuba era mbadde nga ku pano wano nga mbyogera emabegako yaleetanga ba senior members yaleetako Lwakana Lugunda yasekendinga basajja bakulu ng'aleeta basajja bakulu waliwo yaleetako amama Mbabazi naye ndabye Kalugire yasayininze ng'ate
okusinziza nga mbadde ngoberera ebintu
oyo muko
ndowooza bino tabikola lwakuba nti muko naye lwakuba nti alabika nga ye looya we tekigaana okuba nti looya wo ate yawasa muwala wo
looya takola tekibiina si kye kiba kikozaawo lwaki kyekikola
looya oli bw'aba nga looya nga mukodomi wo takuwoleza mu kooti bagenda okumugaana nti
ekibiina kino kirese candidate
kubanga mu bintu bingi
looya w'ekibiina yabadde akola ki
ndowooza candidate yalonda ani bwawuliriramu ndowooza kulunda ye president naye si gwe mundi gwokka ogusoose gwe ndabye nga omukulu oyo ndali mukulonda kuli yalimu Kalugire ne mukuwoza yaliyo
mukuwoza yalidingamu
yes bw'obanga olina looya kuweesiga nga mutabani wo oba muwala wo oba mukodomi wo oba kojjaawo lwaki tomuwa mulimu
kubanga nenamula yaba nayinza okulamula mu ssente ez'okuwoza ne batiiyula omusimbi
ekirala kyenyinza okumanya mu byobufuzi nti nabo bennyini kati abagenza okubaawo wali nga waali nkakasa nti babaddewo okubaanira ebifo naye anaatuuka wali omukulu waali kubanga kyemanyi nti abaagala okugenda naye
abaagala n'ebifo eri bangi mu kugabanya ku bifo
anti era kati tebatunuulira mukolo guno batunuulira ebikinaavaamu naye kakati olwokuba nti
abantu katulawe ku byayogera omugole
leaders who are here, the Vice Chairman Haji Gongo, Second Vice Chairperson Anita Mong, all the other Vice Chairpersons, members of SEC, all the other supporters of and leaders of NRM who are here, and those who are listening. I thank the Electoral Commission for doing the detailed work of studying the documents and approving our candidacy, our candidature. It's a lot of work, a lot of paperwork. I congratulate them. I congratulate the Electoral Commission. I want to thank the NRM members for again showing trust in me and electing me as the NRM chairperson for the period 1925-1931 and also for the flag bearer for the period 1926-1931. As we have discussed in our inner organs, but before I talk about the future, I hope nobody will accuse the Electoral Commission for campaigning for me. When they selected this site here, what I challenged the NRM media team to do is to go and get a satellite picture of 1986, if they can, of this area. Sometimes those pictures are there. Get a satellite picture of this area, this area, which they call Ruboa, Ruweza, they mix them up. This whole area, up to Wewaja. If they could get the satellite pictures of 1986 of these areas and now, then you would not have to campaign much, you just show. You Gen Z people, these are Gen Z, Gen Z, Gen Z. The Gen Z is my comrades, my supporters. You should see that picture of 1986 here. This was a coffee shamba here. That's why they call it Ruboa Estate. It was a coffee shamba owned by a British company called Mitchell Courts. Now when you come here, it's amazing. If you, all the way you can see. A satellite picture of 1986 and now would speak many words rather than just talking. And the whole of, if you want to show the whole of Kampala, 1986 from the satellite and now, just the picture. So where we are moving to now is to, again, convince the people of Uganda of what has been achieved in the past and what we are planning to do now. At Kalulu, I will say more in the afternoon, but really we have got two major thrusts. Thrust number one is to work with the middle class and the investors from outside to completely transform Uganda from a lower middle income country, which we are now. We are no longer a least developed country, we are now a lower middle income country, to high middle income country moving towards first world country. I think the idea is that in this Sanja, which you are now concluding, if you check the figures, the GDP of Uganda has doubled, apparently. I had not bothered to check that, but they pointed it out. That at the end of the last Sanja, we were like 34 billion. We are now 66 billion. It's really, I don't know why NRM doesn't talk more about some of these things, because they are really remarkable. To double the size of GDP in one term is not a mean achievement. And this is what we intend to do in this coming term. And things are now much faster because we have everything that we didn't have in the past. We have electricity. We have the roads, although we need to repair some of the others. We have the telephones. We have the manpower, the educated people. We have the peace. That's why we are being flooded with more investments. Because people in the world are looking for a peaceful area, a peaceful and profitable area where to invest. That's why there's one of our Asian people, the one who was heading the Uganda-Indian Association, I've forgotten his name, but he always tells me about Uganda being a land of the 3 Ps. Peaceful, profitable, and something else, three P's. Peaceful, profitable, and some other third one. It has got everything. They are coming because there is peace. But on the other side, we, the NRM people, need to ensure that all our population layers get involved. This is where we have some challenges. And this is where we need to address what I always call the mass issues, the issues of the masses. Number one, everybody to be involved in the money economy with the Kibaro. That's number one. Number two, education. Free education for our children of the poor in government schools. For all children in the government schools. The rich ones can take their children to private schools. Number three, the roads. Making sure that the tarmac roads are repaired on time so that we don't have to lose time and then get potholes and then come late and do so more expensively. But also, the Maram roads are maintained. And the money is always sent. The next one, health, the health. The immunization is doing very well, but the curative side sometimes has problems. Ensure that the drugs are there, are not stolen. The issue of water, safe water for all the villages, that must be concluded. Then crime. There is peace in the country. There's no war. The army cannot allow that. But there's a bit of crime and impunity. Criminals who are not handled because of some corruption among the people involved. The NRM structures need to come out and help expose crime and hold accountable all the criminals. And then getting rid of corruption. These ones will help all our people to enjoy the transformation going on in Uganda. It's not good for the middle class to do well, as you can see, because all these people who have built these houses here, you can see from far beyond Webaja, areas which were bush are now high-value properties. They are owned by some people, the middle class. But we want the wananchi, all the wananchi, to benefit. So this is a double mission in the coming Kisanja. Continue empowering the middle class, the investors, whether local or from outside, but make sure that the masses are all involved. I thank you. We shall say more as we go along. I thank you, and I wish everybody good luck.
At your discretion, you may wish to take some questions, if you may. Yes, you come here.
5 questions.
Thank you. So you say your media house?
Or to be fair, 6, 3 for boys, 3 for girls.
Thank you. Mr. Kaya, straight to the point, You say your name, your media house, and straight to the point with one question.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. Terakaya is my name. Kulwaba pizza ntiboka nchibuze mu Uganda. Your Excellency, mu myaka gino waliwo abantu bangi abakyagobwa ku ttaka naddala abakadde babakoonedde amayumba. Waliwo ne mukono eyo eyali omulwanyi wo Musa Mwanje, family eri displaced. Ensonga y'ettaka naddala mu Buganda ogenda gitunulira otya?
Ensonga y'ettaka faba NRM twagikolokodda musiye n'omuteeka erufuga ettaka eryajja luvannyuma twalemerawo ne tugamba nti ow'ekibanja talina kugobebwa ate obusuulu bulina okubeera kw'ekikomo. Kati abo bonna bye bakola bimenya amateeka. Awo wenenyeza ba RDCs bange tebandikiriza ekyo kubeera okubanga ebiragiro tebikiriza omuntu yenna kugoba ow'ekibanja oba okumutemako ekibanja ekyo. Olusalo olwo twaluwangula dda mu biragiro. Soma ebiragiro bamwita kaaya, osome ebiragiro by'ettaka olabe ow'ettaka takkirizibwa kugoba ow'ekibanja. Babikola mu bumenyi bw'amateeka. And because kati kyemukola mulonde ababaka ba NRM kubanga abo abasirikire bya mbiyoni ebyo buwekenenya ogenda kusanga bano bemwaleeta abalala abali ku byabwe. Ate ne bwe twali tulwana mu by'ettaka baali batuwakanya, baali tebaagala kulwana kuwa ekibanja, ffe tulemera kuwa ekibanja. Soma ekiragiro ky'ettaka nga bwekiri, tekikiriza. Tokkirizibwa kugoba w'ekibanja, tokkirizibwa kumutemako ekitundu ky'ekibanja kye, ate obusuulu buli kw'ekikomo. Ate government Minister of Lands yabukiriza si bw'amaanyi. Abamataka b'emulugonyo olwo ne bagamba nti siringi 10,000 lwokka olwaliwo mu budde obwo nti tulina amakulu. Ne mbagamba nti mulaba abaserikale bankubira salute eriko sente meka. Obusuulu obwo salute yokka nti sebe nkutegedde. Olusalo olwo twalwana ne tulwangula. Banambozi bali babalimba wano bebagamba nti ettaka lya Buganda lyabasenze siri abamayiro bokka. So the issue is implementation, not the law, because we handled it.
Shamim.
Thank you, Mr. President. I am Shamim Nabakoza. I work with NBS Television. Mr. President, I have just two. One, to find out from you.
Only one question, because remember...
Okay, thank you, Mr. President.
Remember, we're in democracy now.
Thank you, Mr. President. And that's where I want to begin from on the question of democracy. As a father of this nation, how are you entirely preparing it for transition away from just the elections? Thank you, Mr. President.
Well, this is what I said. When I introduced, I told you that we are point number 3 in our principles is socio-economic transformation. Nabakoza. Just look around, see here, what do you call this? This one was a samba. The other samba lyemwanyi wano. Naye tunula ekiri wano. Ate aba electoral commission bakoze bulungi ne bandeeta wano. Ate namwe ne babaleeta. Ate ne mujja na kamera zammwe mukube ebifaananyi. Mwagala kugenda mugulu oba mwagala kugenda mugeeyana? Oba mwagala kugenda mugulu n'okubeera ab'amazima. Nsomoozezza abantu bange aba press batufunire ebifaananyi by'ebitundu bino 86 nakati bafune ebyakati ebyolwaleero mulabe muteeke mawulire gammwe. So our main work is not just formal democracy, just elections, but socio-economic transformation. In the speech in the national conference, I gave you the 5 stages, which I don't want to go into now. Recovery, expansion, diversification, value addition. Now we are in phase 5 of knowledge economy. That's transformation.
Thank you, Your Excellency. My name is Timothy Nyangweso with UBC. My question is the number, you both showed that the numbers between 0 and 18 is 55%. And also 19 to 24 is about 22%. In the next Chisanja, we're going to have about a boom of young people, 49%. What is the plan for those young people of a boom of 49% in the next Chisanja?
When I Mr. Nyangweso, I thought Olumusaada Musamya Oliotie
Ndiyo, Olibulai
Ndi Mulai
Abengo
Balai Nitugamba nti we are speaking our language, which is if you don't understand. The Tichikiriza answer to your question is what we have told you. And I would like anybody who has got contrary opinion to oppose it. We have told you repeatedly that the answer for all Ugandans for livelihood are the 4 sectors. Nyangweso wulidde munange sectors ennya obubondo obuna mukamereza muzikola oba zikola mu nkwate ate anampakanya aveyo tuwakane. There is no other way except the 4 sectors. Sector 1, commercial agriculture with the Chivaro. If you have got land, if you want to get out of poverty, route number 1 to get out of poverty is to engage in commercial agriculture with the Chivaro. And we have told you repeatedly how that should be. Sector 2, manufacturing and artisanship. That is the second sector. Third sector, services, hotels, tourism, transport, rumor mongering like you people here. Somebody lives by rumor mongering. This is a service. Nyangweso is picking rumors from here, taking them around that he's informing us. Most of the time he's misinforming us. But we pay you. That Nyangweso is paid for Okusakama Urire. Okusakama Urire no bulimba byonna nasaka netumusasula. Services. Sector 3. Sector 4, it is really part of Sector 3, but I like to put it separate. ICT. There is, for instance, a sector known as, an activity known as BPOs, business processes outsourcing. Somebody can be an auditor here or an accountant, and he gets assignment from Canada, a company in Canada. They send you their books here. You arrange them properly as an accountant should do, and you send them back, and they pay you. So this is the 4th sector. ICT, number 1, services, number 2, manufacturing and artisanship number 3, commercial agriculture number 4. There is no other way. If anybody tells you there's another way of how the young, whether you are young or old or ancient or modern, these are the 4. If there is anybody who knows another sector, I have forgotten. Of course, there is government service, public service, but it is also a service. You hear they call it public service. There is also political service, politicians. That is also a service. But the problem with the public service is that the jobs are very limited. The whole public service is 480,000. All of them, soldiers, policemen, spies, rumor mongers working for the government, corrupt civil servants, all of them together, 480,000. Population of Uganda is 46 million. How can the government be a solution? It's not a solution. That's why we've been telling you that even where we are now, manufacturing is employing 1.2 million people. That is almost 3 times compared to what the government is employing. Services are employing 5 million people. The agriculture is employing 3.6 million. But I have told you, I've given the example of Nyakana or Fort Portal, who is using 1 acre in commercial agriculture with the Chivaro, and he's getting very good money, and he's employing 15 people. And I've told you that if people with 1 acre, 7 million of them, if each one employed 15 people, we would create 105 million jobs, more jobs than all the Ugandans. And it can happen. That's what happens to you people when you go to China, to Japan, to do HAU. You get jobs which the Japanese are not doing. They don't have enough people to do those jobs. Here we can do it here. If you listen to our message, the 4 sectors, I challenge anybody in Uganda, abroad, or wherever, tell me the other sector which I've forgotten. And wherever the sector, you tell me. Challenge them. You put it on the radio and say, Museveni has challenged the people. If you know another sector has forgotten, bring it up. So, this is the answer for those young people. When you say young people, I am a former young person. Don't you see me here? Young people. We have seen young people since time immemorial. I am a former young person. So I know how to be young, I know how to be middle-aged, I now know also how to be old. I know everything. To Dubai. What are you going to do in Dubai? Here we have got more potential for more jobs than the Dubais can have. We've got everything here. Muleka obugagga wano ne mugendeyo okukola ng'abaddu gye mugenda. Nze sifuluma, there's UN now, there's something UN is going on. Nze ndi wano mbyange. Fortunately, I've got my young people, they are there in the UN. I can send you there to the UN. Nze ndi wano. Okay, how many remaining?
Oweekitiibwa President, Shamshad Naluja.
The other man, Julius Muchunguzi, is now doing some work. He has been around for some time, rumor mongering. Animuzukuru.
Nalongo Shamshad Nalujja okuva ku BukeddeTV. Olw'abantu bawansi ngenda kozesa Luganda. Kati ekibuuzo kyange kiri abasawo ku muwendo gw'abasawo gwe tulina mutono ddala naddala basawo abalabirira abaana abazaalibwa nga tebannatuuka ekiviirako ba mothers abamu okufiirwa abaana baabwe oba oluusi n'obulamu bwabwe n'ebiwa byennyininyini incubators eziteekebwamu abaana bano nga baakazaalibwa tuyina ntono naddala mu government facilities mu kino ekisanja ekitandika Mr. President ogenda kukola atya ensonga eno okulaba ng'ogitereeza bulungi.
To explain where I may have to use English, Narongo will have to forgive me.
It's okay, Mr. President.
Because the NRM health plan is integrated. Because we came from the rural areas when we were fighting. That's why we started with prevention. But some people don't concentrate on it. And the prevention meant you take the health care up to the sub-county, have a health center 3 there. That health center does immunization, which is doing very well. That's why you are all here. You show me an NRM child who is lame because of polio. Because of the immunization. And this is just one element of prevention, just immunization. But the problem is that you don't listen to the message of the NRM. Suppose you added nutrition, just educating the people what to eat, what to eat, what to eat, what to eat. And you added hygiene, and you added careful lifestyle. You don't go for alcohol, you don't go for umaraya. And we dealt with malaria, sleeping under the bed nets. How many diseases would remain? Because most of the diseases are covered. Now, the obstetrics you are talking about, if you go to the health center 3, if you do antenatal, they call it antenatal, they would have seen your baby inside the womb, how the baby is. But people don't do that. So when we started, the health center cities were supposed to be 1 per sub-county. At that time, we had like 2,000 sub-counties. I'm sure I have not checked. But if you check, you may find that all the old sub-counties already now have health center 3, the old ones. The ones they say don't have are the new ones. I will check it, And the reason we selected the sub-county is that it is because I know what a sub-county is. I know the ones of Ankole, I know the ones in Ruero here, like Semuto, Gobakuzarawa, and Nalongo.
Masaka Sera.
Masaka sijimanyi bulungi abanabudu abo nabayita mbuyisi. Naye Ruero, if you take like Semuto sub-county, from Semuto to the boundary with Makurubita, just 2 miles, Maware. From there to the boundary with Kapeka, like 3 miles. So the reason we said health center 3 at the sub-county, you could even walk to the sub-county. You didn't even have to use means. But people don't concentrate on this. They don't listen, they don't. So if there was this proper antenatal, a lot of those problems could be avoided. But I have heard your statement about the premature and the incubators and all that, I will check. That one I don't want to talk about what I'm not sure about.
Thank you so much.
But I can tell you, if we use the prevention, you get rid of 70% of the sicknesses. Yeah. The last one.
Neyanzanyo His Excellency amanya nze mwesigwa David nga nkola ne Galaxy TV mugwo mukaaga lwe nali mu State House His Excellency natuusa report gye wali nga nkugamba nti amalwaliro naddala ery'emukono Kayunga ne Namuganga Health Center siri mulimu obuze bugamba nti mu ddwaliro ly'emukono General Hospital abakazi bazaalira wansi n'abazadde ku ssaawa 9 bwe zituuka ssaawa 10 kibakakatako kubagamba muveeyo ku bitanda mugende ebweru ne weekanga omwana eyazaddwa ng'ali mu mbeera ennungi ng'afunye ammonia kusinziira ku mpewo gy'aba afunye ebweru naye nkuleetera ripoota endala Kayunga General Hospital oxygen plants zaazikira kati tutemwaka mulamba n'ekitundu naye nkuleetera Namuganga Health Center 3 nti eddwaliro ddamba lirina abasawo 4 naye weekend tekola His Excellency n'onsuubiza nti ogenda kukikwatako naye since then ne kaakati tetulabangako kigenda mu maaso abakazi bakyeyongera kuzaalira wansi ekyo kimu ekyokubiri weeyongeddeko n'omuze nti omwana omukazi eyandibadde n'amaanyi agazaala kimukakatako kumusindika mu operation bw'okusobola kweyolera omusimbi kyesitegeera obunafu His Excellency buli sayidi ki buli eri Ministry of Health eri abakulira amalwaliro oba mu ba RDC and DSOs neyanzanyo Mr. Excellency simanyi oba amanyago ani amanya nze mwesigwa David nga nkola ne Galaxy TV
simanyi oba mwesigwa onampayiriza simanyi kubanga sitera kwerabira but I don't remember very well but fortunately now totumye wetuukidde mwesigwa kati nabanja lyawo nabanja yingira mu nsonga ya mwesigwa munango ntwase mwesigwa kubanga oba mpayirizo kubanga sibijjukira bulungi but mwesigwa you see what you are saying omanyize kindabye wano mu Uganda kunyooma simanyi okunyooma obutafaayo obutawuliriza mwesigwa sooka owulirize onakolagana ne nabanja oluvannyuma simanyi oba kunyooma oba ki kubanga owulira mwesigwa byagamba omujuzo oguli mu district hospital mukono gyagamba is already a district hospital. Kayunga is a district hospital. The plan was decentralize all those problems to the health center 3 so that you have got less numbers. Omujuzo ogo ebitanda biweddewo okusola ku lubalaza okuzaala in the veranda. It is because the plan was never listened to. Because how many people are giving birth in a sub-county? They are not the same numbers when you gather to, you bring all the Bakunja, you bring all the other people, they all come to Mukono. The number is bigger. So there's some issue of discipline. Mulago here, Mulago is supposed to be a referral hospital. But people turned it into a primary health care hospital. Owomusujja wekidukano agenda Mulago. Even when we built Kawempe, we built this other one, Chirudu, said, Mutanikireyo, Bonna. So the issue of discipline, I think also the leaders don't insist. Yeah. Because if there was, you count how many health centers I will check when I come in the afternoon on the rally. I will talk about it. How many health centers we have now? Do you know?
Your Excellency, we have 1,553 health centers 3s. 1,500.
And how many were the old sub-counties?
They were less than 1,000.
Yeah, no, they were like 1,200.
And then we have 230 health center 4s. Because where we put a health center 3, Where we had the health center 4, we don't put health center 3. So if you add 1,500 health center 3s, then 2,030 health center 4s, that gives you 1,700 sub-counties, each with a health unit.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So I can conclude here, Mwesugwa, and all of you, by giving you example of our time. Mom and myself, we were born in a place called Ruhama. Ruhama was together with Rwampara. They were one. It was all called Rwampara. Now, that time, what they were calling a dispensary, what you can call a health center 3, was only one in Chinoni. Now, Chinoni is 25 miles from Ntungamo, where we were born, and is 15 miles from Mbarara. And Rwampara would go from Mbarara on the way to Kabare up to mile 48. And we had only one health center, equivalent of one health center 3. Now, all those sub-counties have health center 3s. The ones over Rwampara, Mwizi, Bugamba. Biaranga can check for me later on. You tell me how many health center 3s are in Rwampara. The old Rwampara, which was Rwampara Rahama, how many are there now? I know that in our time it was one. So that was our strategy. Have more health centers so that you deal with all the prevention there. What should be going to the district hospital should be, we even provided for surgery at the health center 4. Surgery at health center 4. But they don't use it. Babuka. So they all come and... Thank you so much.
You asked for 6, and the last one is this one.
Oh.
Thank you, Your Excellency. My name is Erios Namugambe. I work with Channel 44. I will also ask mine in Luganda.
Okay.
Echange chikwata ku byanjigiriza. Wayogedde ku byenjigiriza ebyobwerere bye wateekawo naddala mu masomero aga primary. Naye mangi ku masomero gano mu byalo eyeewala abaana basomera wansi mu miti. Ate n'abasomesa ennaku zino babadde beekalakaasa nga tebasasulwa ssente bulungi. N'entono ze balina obbasasula ate kumpi balina zikubira bikonde tebazifuna. Abaana bangi ennaku zino tebakyasoma abali mu byalo. Ogenda kukola otya mu kisanja kino okulaba ng'ensonga eno egonjoolwa ate era mu byalo eyo amasomero agasinga tegali nnyo kumpi n'abayizi bangi bakyatambula eŋŋendo empanvu. Ogenda kikola otya mu kisanja kino Jjajja Mwami?
Now, let's see how many primary schools do we have now? Government ones, if you know.
Your Excellency, we have 12,549 primary schools run by government.
12,000.
12,000, yes, sir.
Olumuzukulu amanyago muzukulu abadani?
Erios Namugambe.
Na?
Namugambe.
Namugambe.
Yes.
Now, Namugambe, plani ye twatandika nayo yali okufuna essomero lya gavumenti, kufuna essomero lya gavumenti erya primary Bulumuluka. Owulidde Namugambe? Va ku byabyalo hanga aleme okudivertinga, owuliriza ebya Jjajja Mwami. Kati, you check the parishes. When we started, I remember the parishes were like 5,000.
So when we started the UPE, the parishes which had a primary school were 6,880. We now have 12,000 primary schools. So we have like doubled the number of...
But how many were the parishes?
I will check that.
Yes. For me, I think the parishes were about 5,000. So I think by now, all the old parishes may have already got a primary school.
We now have primary schools in 6,200 parishes.
But these are new ones.
Yeah, including the new one. All the old ones have now.
Yes.
All of them have.
Yes.
We have now exceeded all the old ones.
So the problem is again of tough because come to the microphone, Namugam. So twatandikana nkakasa nemiruka yalinga nkumi ttaano, I think, but we can check. And the plan was make sure there is a government primary school per parish. Abana basobole okutambula n'ebigere bagende basome bakomewo. I think now, but the local government keep increasing the parishes. But if you increase, for instance, like in our parish of Mama and myself, the one of Chikoni, we used to have one primary school somewhere there. Now there are like 4. But even if we maintained the old one, the one we had in that parish, children could have walked or cycled to the school and go back and study. But so I will check the number and answer you properly in some of the. I think the density, because what we're talking about is the density. The density of the schools is not enough. Kati abana abasomesa okubasasula, we are paying them better than the private schools. Do you know that? Emisala gye banyooma eya government. I think Mama would want to say something on that. Do you remember anything? She will check, but the emisara, people like Tayewa know something about, you know about schools. Come and say something. How is the pay which these teachers are looking down upon in the government schools compared to what they are paid in private? The arts teachers now, the ones who are striking.
Mzee, most of the teachers in the art schools are not even paid in the private schools. Because when we go to the village and we engage with them, especially the ones in the rural schools, they are not even paid. But now the biggest quarrel with the teachers in Mzee has not been even the amount they are earning. They are only saying, you have given so and so, the science much more. So we also want to take what you've given the other party. So, but Mzee, most like up country, around 200,000.
But in the private schools?
Yes, in the primary schools, for private.
How much are they paid?
Around 200,000.
Nabanja, you know something?
In the private schools, Mzee, not government.
So, Namugambe, guno omusala gwaffe gwe banyooma gusingira ddala kye basasula mu private schools. And regarding the difference between the scientists and the arts, it is because we want your economy to develop. In order for the economy to develop, these roads need engineers to look after them. The engineers. The power stations need electrical engineers. The hospitals need doctors. The coffee and agriculture needs extension workers, scientists. So that's why we said, yes, I am a person of arts, literature, I am a man of literature. I can quote for you Shakespeare, what Shakespeare said and all that. But when there is a problem on the road, I can't help you. So we are saying, Banange, let's start with the scientists, because they are fewer, but they are needed immediately. Later on, we shall go to the arts. For them, they say, no, if we all don't get, nobody gets. Now, that's what we cannot accept. That is so much selfishness, where you say, if I don't get, nobody else gets. In the bush, we had no food. I keep telling you this. But if there was little food, we would give it to the soldier who is on duty that day. You eat more so that you don't kusumagira, and they come and kill us. Yes, I am a commander, I am senior to you, but you get more food because we need you now. Nabanja, banyonyere kucha ensasolo y'abasomesa aba arts mu government schools and the private ones. Ate yogera mu Luganda kubanga Oluganda olusinga olwange.
Oweekitiibwa President, mu gavumenti omusomesa afuna essente entono ennyo, afuna $58,000 buli mwezi gross. Kakati mu private schools bafuna emitwalo okuva ku $20,000, abamu bafuna na 15, ate bazisasula mu bitundutundu, ate oluusi mu holidays tibabasasula. Oweekitiibwa President, waliwo abasomesa okusinziira ku budde bwe bamaze nga basomesa. Abasomesa abamu kaŋŋambe nga abaluddewo nga basomesa, naddala aba head teachers, bafuna wakati w'emitwalo 98 oluusi okutuuka ku million, aba private. Mukama wange President, watulagira okufeezinga abasomesa bano okuva 2019. Baludde nga tubongezaako, si kituufu nti tetwongezangako. Ate n'oddamu n'olagira juuzi emabegako mu 2024 nti abantu bonna abali mu arts tubongeze omusaala okutandikira ku ba security abo twabakozeeko omwaka guno, ate omwaka oguddako 2026-2027 watugamba tubongeze ebitundu 25, then mu myaka 3 tube nga tuli mu bitundu 7. Oweekitiibwa President, aba arts bwe bati bwe bali, ate nga tujja kubongeza kubanga kyolagira tewali akiddamu.
So, Norwecho, those fellows are selfish. They don't tewaroza kunsi yaabwe beroza koboka. That's why we cannot. They should go back to work. They are very selfish. For abasirikale tubadde tufuna omusaala mitono emyaka gino gyonna, myaka 5 nze ndwana, tebansasula olusi bwe bansasula katono naye nendwana ndi wano timundaba. Even now, you know how much salary I earn? Do you know Namugambe? They pay me 3.6 million. Nenjako 20% for the NRM. Mama wanasigaza ku account here 2.7 million. Nagani kuongeza omusala kubanga nagamba sisobora kweyongeza omusala when the abantu abakozi ba government abawansi bachafuna ntono. So it's not salary, it is service and building our country, and then if we are still there we shall be well paid, if not our children will be well paid. Okuzimba ensi yaffe sikukayanira ebitaliiwo. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, and thank you to everybody.
So Julius Msigu has dismissed us.
Julius Mchunguzi, on behalf of the Commission, thanks you for coming.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Huh? No, what's in there?
Ate ebigambo biwanvuyemu kakati awo kyentyamu kyokka kiri kimu eri Mucunguzi anaatereeza buli muntu n'afuna obudde bwe bumu oba oli afuna olw'ekitiibwa kye
bw'alina okukikola
ati sibe kyandibadde kubanga madde nkulabulamu oli sitting president era yafunye enkizo yazze ne convoy ye yonna n'abantu be bonna olwekyo akawairo bakateekamu
commission egambye justice yabakama nti tugenda okuwa emotoka emu n'ekirala tugenda kuwa omukisa oyogere eri eggwanga nga candidate tebagambye nti nga sitting president nga candidate kakati
kyabaddemu mu kujja
bannayuganda kyetulina okukola okusaba nti bakoze bulungi mukubi abakama ne banne bakoze bulungi nti candidate bwajja bamuwa omukisa okwogera eri eggwanga ku expense ya commission era kyetusuubira nti ekijja okolebwa ku bonna
ati kati ono kakande kyokina okwekyenjawulo ono aliko enjuki aliko amasannyalaze
kati gwe ekyo leetawo
aliko ebimubuuzibwa bingi kati oli gundi ono Katumba oye aliko ebimubuuzibwa ebiyinza
otuwangaaza kati kankuwa example singa mbadde nkyali practicing wamawulire embuuza y'ebibuuzo engeri gy'obuuzaamu ndabe nga bonna bagamba mu kisanja kino tanakifuna
ekiddako
tanakifuna
ati mu manifesto enoga badde bategeeza mu manifesto yegamba kikyosuubira
kiki kyoyagala okutukolera ekyenjawo ku byobulamu kiki kyoteekateeka okutukolera naye bano balingaga nti ekisanja yakifunye edda
ate ne maama Nabbanja bwazzeemu naye alazenga oledde kye balimu tumaze okusasula era tugenda kusasula era tukyasasula naye akyogedde bw'atyo
no problem for her naye bamawulire abuuza atya kubanga tugenda eggwanga nga kusaasaanya trillion namba kulonda tetuyinza kuba nti eggwanga lisaasaanyiza trillion namba naye nga just wicho omanyi wicho
nga kutuusa gundi
kutuuka
mukolo kale ketuvuddeyo emmotoka bamuwadde yakyerimu naye emmotoka bakuwa emmotoka bbiri bakuwa pickup bakuwa n'endala eri ye tebamuwadde eri
kuno nze bagambye kubanga nalaba mucunguzi ng'ayogera emmotoka ezo nga zituuse ng'agamba nti candidate
agitutte
nti candidate ne bw'onooba ng'olina bodaboda ng'otambulira ku bodaboda ye emmotoka ya escort ejja kuvaako emabega naye ate tokkirizibwa kutambulira mu mmotoka eyo kitegeeza nti ku luno
abamuwadde bakuwa nene enzimbe wagoni njirabe yiyo agitwala eyo bakuwa ekyo ey'obuvunaanyizibwa n'eri ey'akabanga liwerekera yiyo ey'obuvunaanyizibwa yiyo bakuwa bbiri ey'akabanga likibadde nga seremoniyo gye bakozeseza naye nga bakuwa bbiri gy'otambuliramu n'ey'abasirikale era bagamba nti abasirikale tebakkirizibwa tekuzibwa kulinnyako wa mawulire oba muntu yenna mulala balina kuba basirikale bali abalala bafune ezaabwe
babaawo okulumba
nga tuze mu kunyakunya kuno omukulu tebamutadde nnyo mu kuleegebwa bikya abamulenga ate kubadde kwogeramu awo katonotono ndabanga okwogeramu mu bula campaign zonna zo international kubanga okwogeramu akatono ndabanga ate gwe batadde ku defensive nabana abantu abadde tebeetegese kuddamu bibuuzo nendabanga ate balina okufuna omukisa bajje beerambike mu maaso balage nti asebo wendi nze nakikolako ne maama Nabbanja nga bamutadde ku maggwa omusukulu Nabbanja nnyonnyola ebyo tekireeseemu awo ogundi
tekiiseobeera nga gwoli mu ntebe ebibuuzo ebyo biba bingi nti gwe tokya promisinga kyokka naye bakubuuza ne likodiyo nti onajja bagambye nti ani agenda okujja tebajja kumubuuza nti okoze eki kijja kikyamu okumubuuza nti okoze eki kubanga private citizen tosuubira kuba nti olina kyokoze ogenda kukola ki naye ono abaddewo olaba omuvubuka oli omugamba nti ssebo wansuubiza nti eddwaliro ly'e Kayunga mukono na wana waliwo ne center firinjo lyadayogerako naye tewabangawo kikyukako kasokedde onsuubiza
amweganya genda mpayiriza
n'agamba
nti
erinnya liso lijjukira
genda mpayiriza nga tuze ku delegation gyazze nayo omanyi nako kuba kwetega okusobola okubeera nga mu kisanja ekiddako dda
nsuubira
bwa prime minister ndabye maama
nansuubidde nti ye nga candidate oba ekibiina kye kyekironda ani anajja ku nomination day ku nomination scene
anajja ati
tomala kagamba nti nze nange kaŋŋende
okulonda abanaakuwerekera
yes ye kenyini yagamba nti gundi ejja kumperekerako oba naye siraba toddongo bw'alonda
naye okusinga bwayanjudde kiraka kibiina kye kyalonze kubanga agoberedde nnyo protocol y'ekibiina nga musajja w'enfanfe gwasoosezza mu kwebazaawo baera bwe badde ababiri Haji Kigongo nazaakaawo omu abalala second members tegeeza bakibiina bye baleesere baasi eyakyenvu yebaddewo waba abatumye emmotoka 2
bagende mu baasi
bali abalala kubanga abalala amonga abakugira muzize zonna zandijjuza ekifo kubanga naye ayinanga taye banagira muzize nazo zijjuza ekifo okitegedde bo baleka bali abalala obumbadde Kadaaga mbadde Amongo
naye Kadaaga tali ku seeke
kwali
atya
enkadde
tenavaawo
bagambye bagijjeewo
kyogamba nti seeke bano babalonda asinkana seeke empya
ekisanja kitandikirawo nga temunaba kutandika mumala kukimalako
ate ekisanja kyaggwako dda
ekya seeke
kati okwenda kutuuka webabalondera olinga
kati maama Kadaaga zengano
ndowooza nga prime minister
jukira juzi weekend
kubanga jukira nti nenabbanja tali ku seeke azze kulubwe nga prime minister
ate tayeebo
nga deputy speaker
ate awo lweba tolina side
ani
speaker
alina side of course
ngamba nti kibeera bwe kiti ate
yewe kiri
ate bwe kiri
speaker wa NRM tekiriiko singa oŋŋambye nti chief justice azze oba deputy chief justice
azenga omubaka w'egindi omulabi waffe omulungi kusunsula era abakulu abo oluvaawo bagenda kwolekera agenda kuwummulamu katono president anyu ku lwendo lw'amazzi agende Kololo awe speech embujjuvu ate ne ttiimu ye nga electoral commission wekola naye nalabye nga tumaliriza tumulimu naye byabakama awo ng'alinga asekaasekamu nga asaagasaaga nga alinga ali otegedde kyentegeeza olina okubeera serious candidate nga alinga alina
side byampuna of course mukulu byabaka mu musaasira nti alina omukolo gwateekateeka nga ye referee naye ate the back of his mind amanyi nti ono ye president aliwo onfuna kakati agezaako okulaba nti wewaawo chairperson kati ono candidate naye ate aliwo era nga president era ndowooza olabe nga engeri gyabadde amuyisaamu
amuyisanga kolegi kale katuwummulemu katono tukyagenda maaso nga tukwezuka bino bitwala ennaku 2 era wabulabe bakandidate 2 ate tujja kwongera okuwa ebisingawo.
Leero nga luwagiddwa